Welcome back to Gothic Homemaking. I have a very special guest today, my fiancé, Mayumi Toyoda.
Hello, my love.
Hello, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's so amazing to have you here. I recently went to Mexico City to pick up Mayumi, and while I was there, I was so surprised when I walked into the supermarket and I saw that they were selling Halloween decorations. I didn't know they even celebrated Halloween in Mexico.
Yeah, we do.
I thought it was just Day of the Dead.
Also.
Wow, that's great. Well, as you might imagine, I got super excited because if you watch my show, you know that this time of the year, I go to all the stores to show the Halloween decorations that are for sale. So I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to go to a bunch of Mexico City stores and do the same thing?
Absolutely.
And we started at the strangest place, the place I first saw Halloween decorations. You remember what that was?
Yeah, Superama.
The supermarket,
yeah.
Superama. When has he been to Superama?
He went to Mexico.
Oh my God, you're right, he did go to Mexico. Ooh, I don't want to think about it. Gross. Well, won't you join us on our adventure as we go on our first ever Halloween home decor hunting in Mexico City. And we're starting at the strangest place of all,
Superama.
Superama. Take a look. I walked into the Superama and imagine my shock and delight to find Halloween items. There were lots of skeletal animals like these, which are very popular in the United States as well. There were big licensed items like mugs from Stranger Things and lots of items from Nightmare Before Christmas, like these beautiful statuettes and this plush toy of Oogie Boogie that played his song. They had lots of other recognizable characters as well, but it wasn't all big licensed stuff. They also had these candelabras, these lanterns that light up, plastic pumpkins, these telephones with spooky recordings, and then I spotted these fantastic lanterns. I loved them so much, I bought 2 of them. Well, now you know where we got these amazing lanterns from. I have to tell you, after seeing those first Halloween decorations at that Superama location, I was addicted, and then I had to go to every single Superama location.
Oh, yes.
Take a look. The sky was dark that day in Santa Fe as we went to the next Superama location. There I hoped to find things that were even more dark. But they had a lot of the same figures from Nightmare Before Christmas, Disney and the Peanuts. They had those spooky phones, and now I noticed an animated typewriter as well. And of course they had all of the lanterns they had at the other location, as well as the plastic pumpkins. They also had this globe that projects images on the wall, but I'm not much of a Snoopy fan myself. They also had this crystal ball, which was really quite nice. And yet more Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. At that point, Mayumi decided to make a call.
They have all the same items here. We should go to Walmart.
Walmart? I'm at Walmart.
¿Qué?
Our next stop was Walmart in Santa Fe. We walked in and were immediately greeted by Halloween decorations. They had the plastic pumpkins, the same crystal ball, the spooky phones. In fact, they had a lot of the same items. Although this time I did notice that the typewriter had a really great animated skeleton hand inside, as well as a really interesting technique for making it look like it was actually typing. I also found this crow here which I hadn't seen at Superama. In another aisle, Mayumi found a lot of Day of the Dead items like these beautiful candles. They had crosses and newly deads and these lovely Katrina figures. This one might actually look really nice on our windowsill in Mexico City. Next, we went to another Walmart in the area of Toreo. There they also had a lot of the same items, but it seemed like their Day of the Dead section was a lot bigger. Nonetheless, there was still some really great surprises there. Then it was off to Home Depot. Sadly, the only surprise there was how small their Halloween section was. We had seen a lot of these same items at some of the other stores. Now, Costco's enormous, so we really thought we'd find a big Halloween selection there, but instead we were just greeted by this one big scarecrow.
A mí me asusta mucho. Por suerte, tengo esta sonrisa grabada en mi cara. O verías lo asustado que estoy. ¡Fuera! ¡Fuera!
I was, however, delighted that he spoke in Spanish because even in Mexico, a lot of the animatronic items speak in English. Other than the scarecrow, there was really just this light-up pumpkin and this Frankenstein boy. Well, as you've just seen, some of the stores had very few Halloween decorations at all. And then there were other places that were selling the exact same items as were being sold at other stores, isn't that right?
Yeah.
But then we went to a really strange place. We went to a place that you wouldn't expect to find Halloween decorations, and they did have them.
Yeah.
Although this time they were in a somewhat different style. And you remember what that place was called?
Yeah, it was called City Market.
City Market. And what neighborhood was that in?
In Polanco.
Polanco, in the neighborhood of Polanco. Take a look. I would describe this place as a fancy upscale supermarket. There I found a Christmas section right away, and next door they did in fact have Halloween items. They seemed more along the lines of something you'd find in America at a Cracker Barrel, and had sort of a country kitchen motif. They weren't ugly exactly,
No.
but not our style.
No.
No, they weren't macabre or dark, or they had no Gothic aesthetic of any sort. I mean, how would you even describe those Halloween decorations?
I think they were kind of nerdy.
Nerdy? I think more like shabby chic.
Yes.
Yeah, shabby chic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you can imagine them in Martha Stewart's house.
Uh-huh.
Not in this old dungeon.
No.
Hey, Orville would probably like him. He's shabby chic.
Oh, yeah.
Don't pay him any mind. Well, those decorations were not our style, but we did find amazing Halloween decorations in Mexico City at a particular chain. How do I even describe this chain of stores to you? The first one that we went to, it was absolutely enormous. It had several floors and it was completely full of enormous, extravagant, flamboyant objects. I mean, when I thought to myself, like, who could their buyer be? Like, who is their customer? The only thing that I could think of was a 12-year-old who just won the lottery. You know, they had things like a 60-foot-long model of a snake. I don't know, what's the weirdest thing you saw in there?
I think it was the bathtub in the shape of a woman high heel.
That's right. They had a bathtub in the shape of a woman's high heel. I wanted to get in that. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
It was such a weird place. And it's called...
Galerias El Triunfo.
That's right. Galerias El Triunfo.
Yeah.
And the first one we went to was where?
In Santa Fe.
That's right. We went to the one in Santa Fe. It was nothing short of an adventure. And when I say that, I mean an adventure you will not want to miss. So please join us. This location is absolutely enormous. It has multiple floors and they're jam-packed with extravagant items. Walking inside, you're instantly met with an explosion of colors and shapes. They have everything you can possibly imagine. They have Christmas-themed items, Asian-themed items. They have decorations that are classical, romantic, Baroque. They have things with a Moroccan flair, an Egyptian section. Honestly, they really have everything you can think of, including dogs driving fire trucks. They have children's beds shaped like rockets, and I mean, if you really want a life-size astronaut in your bedroom, this is where to get one, though. I'm not sure who'd want that.
Me either.
I gotta say, I really loved the giant white horse. I'd put that in the lair. And I gotta say, you could really spice up your D&D game if you have a life-size dragon in the room. If you're like me, you'll love these giant pirates. You can buy yourself some pirate friends with their little monkey mascots, though I'd highly recommend feeding them because if not, they end up looking like this. Pirates aren't always trustworthy, so you'll have to be careful. We escaped the pirate peril by walking up another floor. There we entered a world of artificial flowers, every color of a peacock's tail. There are a million useful items at Galerias El Triunfo. There are aisles of ribbons and picture frames, like this regal one that I bought for myself, though I'll definitely be painting this black. And this place definitely answers the question, what would happen if a centaur had a baby with a disco ball? Or where can you buy a 60-foot-long snake model to terrorize the neighbors? We did eventually find the Halloween section, and there I really loved these crows sitting on top of skulls. And I loved this spooky skull peeking out of a pumpkin. This haunted house was a standout item for me as well. But this was one of my favorite items. A raven with a skull head wearing a witch hat? Now that is really truly rare and unusual. I absolutely love this piece. I really liked these jack-o'-lanterns too, and they were very heavy. On the next table over, there were many skeletal items, including skeleton versions of Elvis Presley and Marilyn Monroe. The King of Pop was there too in one of his signature poses. For Game of Thrones fans, there was a skeleton king on his throne, and if you like your decorations full scale, they had these enormous skeletons, like this one walking his skeletal dog. Mayumi spotted some Day of the Dead decorations as well. They had plenty of Catrinas, as well as their handsome skeletal dates. Walking up yet another floor, I found another Halloween section. In this one, there were Halloween mugs, as well as Halloween plush toys. And there were lots of really whimsical items in this area, like this scaredy cat skeleton. And I really loved the elegant base of this particular piece. This was another one of my favorite items. I loved the details like the frogs for legs on this cauldron. And while this is not my color scheme, I couldn't take my eyes off of this piece. And then we spotted this Alice in Wonderland themed castle, which was absolutely spectacular. It had beautiful details, like this Cheshire Cat face, and the towers had hearts. We were so in love with it, we didn't even notice it was sitting on a chair shaped like the Grim Reaper himself. There were a lot of whimsical items in this section, but whoever decided to paint this skeletal guard candy colors is an absolute genius. Next we went to Galerias El Triunfo in Satélite. There, to cut through all of the craziness, I just went straight up to this monkey and asked him where the Halloween section was. Right away I found a lot of the same items, and we got a much better look at the Grim Reaper chair. Behind this soldier were some skeletons monkeying around, and I got a much better look at that haunted house. In fact, I ended up deciding to buy one for Jade the Libra, one of my colleagues on YouTube, who loves witchy things. I really loved this candelabra shaped like a monster.
I am Groot, and I'm Gothic now.
And I think these plates would be great for a Halloween party. There's a lot of weird stuff at Galerias El Triunfo if you know where to look. That store is absolutely crazy, isn't it?
I love it.
But really amazing. Honestly, of all of the Halloween decorations that we found in Mexico City, the most interesting ones were at Galeria El Triunfo.
Yeah.
But we're not in Mexico City anymore, Toto. We're in New York City now, and Mayumi has come to New York City to help me with all of my Halloween videos for October. We're going to be making Halloween cocktails, and we're going to be baking Halloween cookies.
Cakes.
Possibly.
Pie?
Possibly. And of course, we're going to be going to all of the stores still to show you the best Halloween decorations with a focus, as always, on what's going to look good in your Gothic lair year-round. So I guess I'm going to have 2 roommates now for the month of October. Not likely, pal.